The St. Cloud State men's hockey team heads into their final weekend of regular season play against in-state rivals, the University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. Welcome to this week's episode of Rinkside. I'm Anna Vaining, joined with Mick Hatton from the Rink Live once again. Mick, thank you for hopping onto the Zoom call today.
No problem.
Let's recap the weekend at the Herb that we saw. The challenging weekend for St. Cloud State against the high-powered offense in the Denver Pioneers. Denver got the sweep 6-2 and 7-2 finals, but despite the scores, the Huskies outshot the Pioneers both nights. It wasn't a typical stat sheet we saw, Mick.
I think it was one of those, situations where one, they kind of ran into a hot goalie, and two, they just had some bad defensive breakdown. When you do that against a team like Denver that's that talented and that fast, you're going to get burned. That's unfortunately what happened to St. Cloud State over the weekend. In particular, in the first game, they turned the puck over way too much, and it hurt them. They ran into Matt Davis, who had a really good weekend, and they didn't finish a few things that probably they should have. There were a couple periods that they didn't play well, but overall, I know what the scores say, but I think they played a lot better than the scores indicate.
It's easy to get frustrated after a Friday night loss like we saw, but there was nothing but effort and push from the team, resiliency that we've seen out of this Huskies squad time and time again throughout the whole season. I know you spoke with the team earlier today. What is the sense of belief and confidence the guys have heading into another conference battle this weekend?
I think the good news for St. Cloud State is that they're playing, in a rivalry series here. They kind of can flush what happened over the past weekend, just because this is a team that they know so very well, and it has turned into a really good rivalry. That can be a good thing because it'll give them something else to focus on besides the pairwise, besides the standings. When you can just focus on, hey, these are guys that I don't like, and we're gonna go and beat them.
You spoke a little bit about goaltending. There's quite a decision to be made on goaltending in Duluth. Freshman Isaac Posher, senior netminder Dominic Bassi. We saw both in that last weekend, with Dom coming in to relieve Isaac Friday night during that first period. We're back to that goalie battle. What factors will play into who will see backstopping the Huskies this weekend at Amsoil?
It's going to come down to, who's playing better here in practice all week. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Dom on Friday. Isaac Posh did not play poorly in that series, but at the same time, when you give up that many goals, I think it works on your psyche no matter what. There's a chance that, we're going to see Dom here on Friday night, and then see how he plays and how they react to having him back in net, and they'll make a decision about who they play on Saturday. I think it's really up in the air as to who's going to play this weekend.
The Huskies on the road this weekend to Amsoil to face a Bulldog team that is 10-18-5 overall in the season. They're currently sitting at 7th place in the NCHC, and they're looking to rebound after a tight weekend against Colorado College. What kind of a push are you expecting to see out of the Bulldogs against St. Cloud State?
They're coming off several tough weekends. They've gone 8 games without a win. This is a team that's going to be frustrated. They're going to be playing their last home series because no matter what, they're going to end up on the road in the NCHC playoffs. So I think they want to go out from their home ice with a little bit of a bang. One of the things with UMD that has been troublesome for them is that they've kind of taken some untimely penalties kind of throughout the season. They need to find a way to win games when Ben Steeves doesn't score. They're 0-14-1 when he doesn't score. It's got to be more than him. Blake Biondi, he did not play last weekend against Colorado College. He's tied for second on the team in goals. From UMD's standpoint, they're going to be desperate. Their goaltending honestly has been pretty good. Matthew Thiessen played both games last weekend against Colorado College, and he and Zach Stakescall have not been the problem. Their problem is come defensively and a lack of consistent scoring.
You mentioned Ben Steeves, who's leading the team in points with 30. Some other leaders of the pack: freshman forward Matthew Perkins, a 2-time NCHC Rookie of the Week honoree, most recently picking up the award last month. What other Bulldogs have kind of made their stride this season, and who do you think will stand out on the ice?
Anthony Mangini is another guy that is having a pretty nice season for them. Connor McMenamin is another guy that's kind of stepped forward a little bit. Owen Gallatin's having his best season on defense. It's not a question of whether or not they've got some talent. It's whether or not they can kind of put everything together. They need to get some positivity going. They're going to have to win the NCHC tournament in order to keep their season alive.
It's going to be the matter of which team is going to click this weekend. St. Cloud State, they're fighting for their place in the standings as well as in the pairwise to make the NCAA tournament. What kind of game will be vital for them to bring in Duluth to finish out this regular season strong?
When they're playing well, they play well below the dots. In other words, down low in the offensive zone. They do a real good job of kind of cycling the puck on people and wearing down defenses. UMD is not a team that's going to want to get up and down the ice quite as much as Denver. They need to be back on top of their game, tighten up some things defensively. They need to get ready for the playoffs here as well. They're going to have to win at least that first round playoff series. If it was right now, they'd be playing UMD again. They've got to set a tone here this weekend with how they play.
Well, you heard it here first. Thank you, Mick. Cheer on the Huskies on the road this weekend at Anzoil Arena in Duluth. If you can't make it up to Duluth to find the game streamed on nchc.tv. Friday night's puck drop is set for 7 o'clock Central Time and Saturday's game time at 6. Thank you so much again, Mick.
Yep, thank you, Anna.